Hello everybody, Road Warrior 627 here, and welcome back to another Thoroughbred Racing preview. Today we are going to be talking about the Memorial Day card at beautiful Belmont Park, which is Big Apple, or as I like to call it, just plain old New York Showcase Day. A very happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. Let's have a blessed Memorial Day weekend, the way our country is right now. I think we all need that. And thanks to all the men and women who died to have our freedom, especially those who got drafted in Korea and Vietnam and shouldn't have been there in the first place and were forced to go. That's another story, but I figured I needed to say that. So let's talk about this card that we so graciously have provided for us by the New York Racing Association. And we're going to take a look at all 10 races. I have some stronger opinions in some of them than others, and the first race is one where I do not have a strong opinion. We have a 2-5 favorite, though, in number 5, Royal Currency, being ridden by Dylan Davis for my favorite trainer, Charlie Baker. 2-5, you can't take 2-5 on a horse that has had a bunch of chances to win and still hasn't. So my alternative would be the first-time starter, number 4, Burn. Why am I thinking? I'm thinking of the Betsy Blue horse. Burn Rosie Burn for Dom Schettino. And I never bet Dom Schettino, but this horse is the only firster in the race. I'm probably not betting the race at all, but if I was going to, I'd probably play this one. And of the two Horatio De Paz horses, you can see he's hitting 29%. With a significant sample size, I would probably go with the 3 Sister Linda, just because the horse has only had one race, and it was last year. Coming off a big layoff, you get the break with Jose Gomez. I'd probably take that one of the two of them. The other ones had 2 chances, and you're probably getting a better price on the 3. So I'd mainly go with the 3 and 4 in here. 4-3 if you're going to do an order. But I really don't love this race. And the 6, yeah, I really have nothing to say with the 1 or the 6. Let's move on to race number 2. We've already got the first of a bunch of those lower level stakes races, and this is the Mount Vernon. I understand why Runaway Rumor is 9-5 in here, but the horse has just not lived up to our potential lately. And Giacosa as well, I feel like the last 2 times, like last time against Flower Point, she kind of just gave it up at the end, and that was last fall. I don't like Bond off the layoff, so what am I going to do? I'm going to be very simple and take the 2 Christophe Clement horses. Of the 2, I do prefer the 3, the horse with recency. She's the 1. He does have another one in here, that being Classic Lady with Rosario. Rosario. This horse is coming off a much bigger break with Rosario, so I'd prefer to take the one being ridden by Trevor McCarthy. Christophe Clement is on fire here. This horse has run all good races entire career. It has never run a bad race. Amazing. So let's move on to race number 3. And this is a situation where we have to default to Chad Brown. He did an unconventional thing for a Chad Brown horse in that he did not run well at all first time out, then showed up next time, albeit off a large layoff, and won impressively at Aqueduct in the winter with Franco. He keeps the mountain here. Is there anyone else I liked in here? Yes, a little bit. This is Synephius' horse. Synephius is a sneaky guy, and if you look at the 2 of the last 3 races from Penn National, they weren't that bad, and last time the figure actually went up with a step up in company. I know this is a lot tougher here, a lot tougher, but Synephius brings horses in here, and he's got another one later in the card that I'm going to be playing as well. And at 30-1, who knows if you get that, who knows if you get higher, I definitely consider this horse a little bit. The other one who's logical is Pineapple Man, and Pineapple Man may be carried by the bias of the racetrack. If you watch the racetrack on especially Friday, but even a little bit on Saturday this weekend. It was leaning toward the rail, and if Saez is aggressive like he sometimes is and gets this horse to the lead, as he's done the last 2 times, and gets over the rail, he might have the run of the race if the bias stays around. Can't play Linda Rice, of course, and Kimmel's horse didn't look too inspiring. Race number 4. Now I'm going to go to Bond with Biondi a little bit, and this is strictly from a pace standpoint. Mile and a 16th race is on the inner. If you don't live under a rock, you know that they always favor horses with speed. This horse almost wired a field last time with He-Man Harkey at 15-1, got beat by Barrel of Quest. I think that was the race that Donk won that I should have played, and I think I liked this horse last time too. Well, I'm not going to miss her this time. Him. It is a him, this horse. Jonathan Thomas has the lukewarm choice in here, number 4. It should be noted that Jonathan Thomas lost with a very short-priced horse on Saturday, and this horse, who has finished second, very similar to the horse who lost on Saturday. So I'd like to try and fade this horse. And yes, there are 2 more in here that I like, and those are Mr. Connecticut. It's Clement. Duh, I have to use him, even though I kind of hate this horse. I really wanted this horse to run well first time out at Saratoga. I wasn't playing Saratoga, but a couple of other people I knew were, and I really wanted this horse to win for them. Didn't get the job done. Still has not gotten the job done. And then look at this. Charlie Baker on the outside has a 15-1 shot, second-time starter with Johnny Velasquez. That is freaking interesting. I love Baker, and I've barely ever seen Johnny Velasquez riding for him. So that alone makes this horse intriguing to me. Therefore, I'm going to box 1, 7, and 9. Race number 5 is an allowance on the Widener, and we are going to go with the logical choices. Now, this is a race where I don't believe I can play vertical bets, because everybody I like is too short. I could play horizontal bets into and out of, because the 4 choices I like in here on the morning line are all less than or equal to 9-2. And I believe Clement has 2 in here. I will check on that. But you've got Waterville for Clement, who's not bad. Still needs to win a race, finish first in a race. Was put up, I believe, yes, in the race at Saratoga last year. Now, Rayum, the 4 horse, I believe is close to being the favorite, if not the favorite. This horse got the meet started at Belmont with a really nice win for me, and I got the exacta 2 with Out of Sight, Donk's horse, who is also running in this race. So maybe if I play an exacta, I'll use those 2, but it's hard to leave Clement out. There's Out of Sight for Donk. You can see, very good resume there. And yeah, there's the other Clement horse who won first time out at Aqueduct last fall, and it's hard to believe I wouldn't have had that horse considering 11-1. Yeah, I definitely had that one for sure. Clement's the man, can't leave him out, and he's sitting at 31%. I'm surprised it's not more, actually. So yeah, as there you can see my notes, 3, 4, 8, 9, they're all contenders, and they're probably guys I would play anyway. I like to play Dickinson, the Mad Genius, as we call him, but too short for the vertical bets, so I'll try to use in daily doubles. Alright, we're halfway through the card now, moving along fairly quickly here. Try and keep this brief. Probably no bet in the 6th race, as you can see. There's 2 favorites in here who look really good. The 2 I think that have a chance to beat the 2 favorites are these 2, Maiden Beauty and Love and Love. Love and Love needs to improve the figures. Maiden Beauty really doesn't, just needs the top 2 to come off their best a little bit. By the way, Joseph Brocklebank is training for Mike Maselli, who is suspended and will be coming back on June 7th. Or at least after June 7th, because I think June 7th is a Tuesday. Bank Sting is the 7-5 favorite. You could see why. And then the 7 is Make Mischief, 9-5. I didn't like that last race on a muddy track, but we'll likely get a fast track here on Monday. Probably skipping this race. 7th race is the Bowery, another dirt race. I believe 3 straight dirt races here. And look at you, cuz, who disappointed last time at Aqueduct in the New York Stallion Series Stakes, whatever division that was. Belmont and even money. This is not the time that you play Belmont. This is the time when you don't play Belmont unless the horse's name is Speaker's Corner. This is the horse that I was interested a little bit in and will be playing just a tiny bit. I don't even think I'm going to be using in multi-race bets, just as a shot in the dark here. Liberty Flame for Pat Quick. I don't know when the last time Pat Quick won a race, but this horse has improved every time and was resolute to get the victory last time in the $70,000 maiden race. This horse will absolutely need to improve, but I thought the 15-1 was pretty good, and as much as I hate Franco, yeah, he has been riding pretty well, if you consider well winning. I still think he has a couple of things that need to be cleaned up. Yes, also another thing with Liberty Flame, pace advantage. The 2 other speeds are drawn inside of Liberty Flame. So, Liberty Flame could get that perfect stalking trip. You could see the first few races very close to the pace. Now, the one problem with that, of course, is the inside bias. If Franco breaks on top and doesn't get to the rail, that's a bad thing. But hopefully maybe the bias changes by then. At the very least, we just want a fair racetrack. Hopefully it's not leaning one way or the other. Race number 8 is the Mike Lee Stakes, and this is a race where I probably have my strongest opinion on the entire card. And it's 2 horses, and those 2 horses, number 1, of course, is Chad Brown, Tin Pan Alley. I really like this maiden breaking race, beating Eminency for Rudy Rodriguez. Now, that horse has come back and not run too good, so we're going to have to keep an eye on Eminency, on, Tin Pan Alley, and see how he runs relative to Eminency. Best Idea is the favorite for Todd Pletcher. I don't see anything that jumps off the page there, except that it's John Velasquez and Todd Pletcher. Let's move on from that. And then here's the other horse, Kaz Mike. Kaz Mike, I bet this horse heavy at the racetrack first time. His first trip to the track this year at Aqueduct on Gotham Day. And look at how much he lost by. At 5.5-1, he lost by a nose. Next time, he lost by more on a dead racetrack at 3-4. At least that's what it says. They don't post 3-4 anymore on the board. And then he comes back and wins at almost 10-1. I did have a little bet on him this day just in case he won, and I didn't play the double. That cost me a lot of money. So I will definitely be using Kaz Mike. Like him. Hasn't ran a bad race yet. And Tin Pan Alley, I think, is just getting better. I love Peter Brandt's horses. So I'm mainly going to be focusing on those 2. In fact, I don't think I'm probably going to be using anybody else. I do have to be scared of Hot Rod Rumble. His last 2 races were both really good. I'm not in love with Abreu and Pletcher, though. I wrote here, Pletcher scares me. I'm really not sure why I even wrote that. Maybe just because of the speed. If Velasquez sends him like he was sent in his first race. Because he's got the inside post. He could just be sent. It's only 7 furlongs. So we'll see what Velasquez does. And there you can see one of, if not my biggest opinion. Probably my second biggest opinion on the day is in the 9th race, which is the Kingston Stakes. And we're going to be going, of course, with Christophe Clement. Now, City Man did not run well last time. Hopefully that was just a fluke. Otherwise, he usually turns in a good race. Who did run well last time in the shorter race was the Therapist, as if you've ever watched SNL's Celebrity Jeopardy, we like to call him the Rapist. Don't get mad, people. It's just a joke. Now, the problem is with the Rapist is that he hasn't won in forever. You could see last time he won was when he had that really good year back in 2020. But his last race at 7 furlongs was really good. And he closed in really well. Now the problem is it's going to be a lot tougher to close in to a mile and a 16th race on the inner turf. The problem though is it's Kristoff, and Kristoff is the freaking man. Cross Border is back in here for another try. However, Cross Border seems to never win at Belmont. I can't use him. The other horse I will absolutely be using is Sanctuary City, who always runs a good race. Look at these last 6 races. There's not a bad one in there. His worst one was the Red Smith, where he tried to close into a dawdling pace and only lost by 4 lengths in a giant stakes race. Sanctuary City is exactly the type of racehorse I would want to own, besides the fact that he doesn't get his picture taken. So I am absolutely going to be boxing 3, 4, 6. Clement and Sanctuary City. Done. Is it 3, 4? I'm sorry. 2, 3, 6. Correction. 2, 3, 6 for me in the 9th race. Some Like It Hot Brown I will use in supers. I know on paper, if you go back to last fall, this horse should not lose. However, he's coming off a layoff. Not that Maker off a layoff concerns me, but there's no value there. I'm just going to throw him in the super and try to beat him. Hopefully he doesn't show up. The 10th race is the last race. I don't love much in here. I just took a few shots. Those being first with the Tom Morley firster. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not a Tom Morley fan for various reasons, but one of only 2 firsters in the race in a field that has not impressed so far. The other firster is for Jorge Abreu. I know he's 0 for 14 this meet so far, but he just had a firster run so well yesterday at 49-1 that I played a little saver bet on. And look, there's Velasquez again. Definitely going to be using this horse. And then, of course, Clement, Smoking Hot Kitty. I do not like that this horse did not run well first time, especially with Dylan Davis. But this race was actually wired by Act of Congress, and this horse could not make up any ground. I'm hoping second time out will be good, though Clement's horses are usually ready. You can't leave this guy out. You just never can leave Clement out. I was in the same situation 2 weeks ago at the racetrack with a horse who showed nothing and ran huge in the last race and almost won me a bunch of money in the last one. Still wound up on the day, but that could have made it a lot better. The horse also took money first. As you can see, I circled 4-1. So hopefully this horse is well meant, was well meant that day, and just something went wrong. And Clement has this horse back pretty quick, 6 weeks. So even if there was a problem, it wasn't that serious of a problem. So that'll be my main stuff in the 9th race. This will be small, but I am on 5, 8, 9. And that's really it, guys. I didn't look at the also eligibles, but they seem to never get in these races, and they don't look good anyway. Valoose for Clement. Yeah, well, I don't think you're getting 2 scratches in here. Okay. Well, if Valoose comes in, we'll take that when it needs to be. That's it, everybody. Just wanted to go through my quick ideas for Memorial Day at beautiful Belmont Park. I promised this video at the start of the meet, so I wanted to make sure I got it done. I know it's a little late. It's only the Sunday, the day before, but needed to do it. Now, plans for the channel. You know what's coming if you've been around here. We're going to have the Belmont Stakes preview probably on Tuesday or Wednesday of the week after this upcoming one. Of course, the week before the Belmont will be crazy on this channel. The first video will be Belmont Stakes, the race itself. Then we'll have the Thursday preview, the Friday preview, and the Saturday preview for the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. I have no idea who's coming on the shows yet. That's to be determined. But I'm sure that I will have guests for at least the regular Belmont Stakes preview and probably several others. Now, I am starting a job that week, so things might get complicated and the videos might not be too long, but I promise you they will be there. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good luck on Memorial Day. Thank you to those who fell for our country. Enjoy yourselves. Cook some burgers, cook some dogs. Pay your bills first, and may the odds be ever in your favor.